What's going on, 49er faithful? It's your boy, the WayneBreezie. We are live and kicking 49ers daily, bringing you 49ers content every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the Bleacher Report app. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this link with all of the 49ers community so that they don't miss out on an episode. All you got to do is download the app. Bada boom, bada bing. Follow me, Wayne P. Brown. Boom, you'll get 49ers content every Tuesday night, and check out some of the other great 49er content creators that we have right here streaming live on the app every single week. All right, let's do our early show shout outs. We got live chat community members right now. It's good to see Peachy C48 in the building saying good evening, Breezie, and everyone. Still praying for you and your family. Yes, Peachy, thank you so much for your prayers. Shout out to PGC48 and Jack Knox for being in the live chat. You get the air horns. Thank you so much for your continuous prayers. I truly appreciate it. It's a and I love you back. You know, love you too. It's a tough time. I lost my grandma on this past Saturday, and I'm dealing with it the best way that I know how. But I'm here, and let's talk 49er football. 49ers are in their mini camp mode. They had their first mini camp practice on today. They have one more on tomorrow, and then they go on their pre-camp break, right? They go on their pre-camp break. And so they're going to get about 30 something days off. They get to be with their family, have fun, do all that good stuff. And then they come back for training camp. Training camp's when they really get into the nitty gritty of what's going to be going down this upcoming season. And I just wanted today to kind of, talk to you and go through the practice report. We're going to look at one of the 49ers beat writers' practice reports on today, go through it and get our takes on everything that actually went down, especially since I'm not there, not able to be there. I'm not a beat writer, but I am a content creator. And so I do appreciate the beat writers that share everything out there for us to sit here and to discuss. I think that's really great. And the one thing I want everybody to know that I am very, very excited about what I think that this 49ers regime this upcoming season is going to be. It's sometimes it's hard for change. Sometimes it's hard to change. Sometimes it's hard to accept the changes. But I really like the fact that the Niners got young, they got vibrant, all right, especially on the defensive side of the football. I think the draft was just like a bang, freaking bang. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bang, bang. I really thought that they got young and vibrant defensively. They added extra skill positions offensively, even in offensive linemen. And I'm excited. They got younger, they got vibrant. And so I can't wait to see what these players are going to produce out there on the football field when their number is called. I'm not saying that we're going to have 11 new starters because we had 11 draft picks, but I do think that there's going to be guys that are going to get opportunities and they're going to make the best of those opportunities. I'm rooting for each and every freaking one of them. So congratulations to all the rookies and the undrafted free agents that are coming in to fruition here. T Castle 757, I see you out there. Thanks for tuning in as well. It says my condolences to you and your family on the loss of your grandmother. Try to smile and remember the good times. That's why I'm here, baby. It's hard. I lost my mom last year, and I'm struggling with it every day. Well, then you're in my prayers every single day. And if you feel like you're struggling, feel free to hit me up. And we can chop it up, all right? Javon Bitten 23 in here. Airhorn says, let's go Niners! Let's go Niners, man. Jack says we going 17-0. Like, this is a 17-0 year. Like, I like it's tough to say that, but when you look at according to the statistics, the charts, the scheduling, if we go back and take a look at the schedule, I mean, apparently the Niners have like the easiest schedule. And so when you have that on your side, yeah, like, now if anyone wants any of my data that I create and color coordinate and all that good stuff, all you got to do is join my Patreon, patreon.com/the WayneBreezie. It only costs you $1. And all you got to do is sign up for the $1 tier and then click on any one of the things that are just links, put your email address in there. I'll share it with you. All right, it's super simple, super simple. But I look at the schedule and I say, oh man, this is a schedule that I feel like is relatively like, I mean, easy. I mean, yeah, we got to play. We start off with the Seahawks, but then you get the Saints. So 2 road games back to back. So Seattle to Nolans, right? West Coast, East Coast. That could be rough. Okay. But then they're home against the Jags. I mean, the Cardinals and the Jags. I mean, and then they're back on the road Thursday Night Football against the Rams. So, I mean, just the ease of step, the strength of the schedule is relatively easy for the 49ers. So, like Jack said, this is our year to go 17-0. Like, this is the opportunity to go 17-0. What makes it difficult, though, for the 49ers, I think, is some partly like the travel, the back and forth, West Coast, East Coast. But what even makes it more difficult, they had a lot of new young players. And it's all going to come down to how quick those young players grasp the concept of football, or how well our coaches simplify things because they know they have young players. So it's twofold for me. I'm excited to see what the new coaches bring, and I'm excited to see the new energy from the new players and the old players, the veterans. I don't want to call them old, but the vets. You know what I'm saying? Like the vets. And so I'm super excited. Peachy's talking about the trap game. Oh man, it's I feel like the Niners got like 3 or 4 trap games on this schedule. Like easy game, they better win. Trap, right? I know I mentioned the word trap, and I automatically thought of a singer that I'm not no longer really able to mention. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I'm super excited. I just bit my lip, and that junk hurt. I'm super excited because I do like the way that the schedule is falling, and I can't wait to see Brock Purdy lead his troops out there offensively, and I can't wait to see what's cooking with Robert Saleh in the defense. Will we get more blitzing? Will we get better coverage? Will we get all these different types of things? I'm super excited, and I know the defense is going to be a lot more stout, no pun intended, because they drafted an Upton stout, short and stout. That's what we're going to call them. But I really do feel very confident and what it is. Win, lose or draw. Like my confidence level is pretty damn good, right? Like it's high for me. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's not because I'm a faithful. It's not because I'm overreaching. I just somehow feel confident because the competence of the coaching is back, right? I trust my coordinators. I trust my coaching. I always did, but man, let's keep it a buck. Last year's coordinating was trash on both sides. On both sides. On both sides. I'm not going to sit there and hold back any punches on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Jack says we win in our first 4 games. PG says I think the best record shot we have is 14-2. Hey, yeah. I think the only 2 losses that we have are going to be divisional games, and I hate that. I don't want to go 4-2 in the division. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go 4-2 in the division. I just don't. I want to go undefeated in the division. But I feel like the only 2 losses we're gonna have are gonna be divisional losses. And I think my schedule prediction, did I say 13-4 or 14-3? I can't remember what I said. It's been a while. But let's talk about the before we get into the recap of day 1 of minicamp. Just overall, I mean, the 49ers had like, I want to say they had like full attendance the last couple of sessions in the OTAs. I mean, everybody was available. Everybody was there. We already know the players that are unavailable, but the players that were there, just having them there, being in the presence of 49ers football is amazing to me. Like, you get the full 90-man roster, like just loading information. Whether they're there in the classroom, they're on the field to support. You know what I mean? Like just the team being together, 90 men. I like that. That's good. Even the old veterans that usually don't make it to training camp, that usually don't make it to OTAs, like Trent Williams. Can we give Trent Williams a round of applause? I don't. People don't understand the levels of difficulty it is to mentally prepare every single year. I mean, physically is automatic, right? Physically, your body takes a toll. It needs to rest. It needs to regenerate. It needs to Wolverine. That's what we're gonna call it. I'm a huge X-Men Wolverine fan. Like, I don't know if I'm more of a fan of X-Men or more of a fan of Wolverine. I feel like I'm more of a fan of Wolverine. He's my favorite, right? So, like, the body needs to regenerate. It needs to get better. It needs to heal, right? And so the only thing that helps with that is time. And so the Niners just had extra time. But I think when it comes to Trent Williams, his age is a factor, his will is a factor, and then you got to really focus on the mental, the traumatic experiences. He talked today at the podium in his presser about the traumatic experience of losing, children, and it was really hard for him to mentally, you know what I'm saying, want to come back. And I get it. Like, trauma is real. Trauma is real. And the fact that he made a stance to come back. He says he doesn't care about guaranteed money. At least that's what I read. Like, I'm just like, okay, I get it. Like, people need to really, like, us as fans, we really need to just lay off somebody, like, just lay off the players, man. Like, if you want to critique a player because they're not playing well, cool beans. Other than that, if it's any other factor, just lay off. Just leave them be. Like, they're human beings, and they have lives that unfortunately aren't necessarily private, and just let's leave them be. Like, leave them be. That's just my theory. My theory is that when it comes to Trent Williams, him being healthy and him having the will to want to play, I'm back to being confident in this 49ers offensive line. And I'm not saying that because he's the best offensive lineman in the NFL. I don't care where he's ranked. I can care 2 5 lesses of where he's ranked. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, for me, like, he's the best guy to play. When he's healthy, he's the best guy to play. Jack says, Wayne, the mental is the biggest thing. That's what I've been working on, my mental and physical, and it's helping. All right. So mental, you're working on your mental and physical. That's awesome. It's huge. And and I'm not saying it's easy for anybody, but I do know when men experience trauma, it's really difficult because men don't like to talk. Like, we're just not talkers. It's not who we are until we feel confident, comfortable to where we can release, like, safe space, release, and then next thing you know, you can get this man that's going to turn into a baby, right? I feel like for Trent Williams, such a big dude, such a grown man, like, just the way he presents himself, like, I just feel like I'm just glad that he has the will to want to play. Don't Not just the trauma, but he dealt with injuries last year, and injuries to where you felt like maybe his age is a factor. I mean, this man literally came out and said, "Hey, I feel like I could play till I'm 41." I mean, it's the will. It's the will. It's always the will. It's the offensive line. They're not athletic. They don't got to be hella athletic. They're not cutting and bending and whatever like that. Yeah, they did get older, but we know offensive linemen, if they're willing to go out there and put their bodies through the rigorous training, they could play a substantial long period of time. Look, much love for Trent Williams, much love for a lot of players, and I'm really excited to see what this offensive line looks like. Chris Forster, new developing guys, Austin Pleasance. You're hearing a lot of good stories. Again, take it with a grain of salt. These players are not playing full contact. They're not even playing with pads. So you can take it however you want it. It's really hard for me to assess the trenches until I hear snap, crackle, and pop. It better be Rice Krispie treats all over the football field when the pads come on. That's why, like the defenses, you're watching the defense win. Yeah, they better be winning. The offensive line can't do not much. So can't wait, man. I just can't wait. So yeah, today was day one of training camp. So offensively, since we're talking about the offense, like, what do you guys feel is the strongest? Now, I didn't do weakest on purpose, but what do you guys feel is the strongest offensive position group? Which offensive position group is the strongest? Got a poll question going on right now. 100% said the running backs. Man, I like this. I love this. And we're going to periodically on different episodes return to these types of questions because we all know things happen during camp. Knock on wood, right? Things happen during camp, knock on wood. We all know, and things shift. Things shift. All right. So just right now, everybody's saying running back. So let me just read you guys the running back roster. It's very deep. Christian McCaffrey, Isaac Arendo. Those are my 1 and 2s. Patrick Taylor Jr., Jordan James, Israel Abanaconda, Corey Kiner, Kyle Juszczyk, if you put him in the running back group. So if you're including Kyle Juszczyk in the running back group, that's crazy, because now you got 2 Pro Bowl players in your group. I never thought to look at it like that. 2 Pro Bowl players. I don't think Kyle Juszczyk ever made All Pro, but you got 1 All Pro running back. So that's that. You know what? Running back group might be the strongest group now that I think about it. Looking at the offensive line, I mean, it's Trent Williams, Andre Dillard, Isaac Allerson, Cone, Ben Bart, Spencer Burford, Connor Colby, Jack Johnson. Again, you can get this this data from me on my Patreon. I'm just reading right off my Patreon, and it stays updated. Okay, so it stays updated. So you could definitely get this here. And we're doing the offensive line. Ben Bart, Spencer Burford, Connor Colby, Zach Johnson, Jake Brendel, Matt Henney, Drake Nugent. Can't wait to see the battle of the centers. Dominic Pooney, Nick Zakel, Drew Moss, Colton McKivitz, Austin Pleasance. And you already heard the report say that they feel like Austin Pleasance is offensive tackle 3. So it sounds like the Niners, the leading runner for that swing tackle position right now, is Austin Pleasance. All right. So that is something to keep an eye on. I have Spencer Burford listed as a guard, but I feel like Connor Colby may step up, and Spencer Burford may fight for the swing tackle position. So we'll see. Because we're gonna do shows where we try to guess how many of the position group we're gonna keep. Remember, this is a 90-man roster depth chart, and it's gonna eventually get down when we start doing the 53-man rosters and stuff like that, right? And these are subject to change. It's just the way it is. All right, wide receivers. Brandon Ayuk's probably gonna start the season on the PUP. I'll talk about his report. He is not expected to be ready for training camp, so he won't be participating in the training camp drills. Demarcus Robinson. I hear that the suspension is pending, so we'll see how that happens. Russell Gage, Isaiah Hodgins, Ricky Pearsall recovering from an injury. Jordan Watkins is lighting camp up. Tariq Owens, we have not heard his name since OTA. We have not heard his name. Isaiah Nair, haven't heard much more from him. Jawan Jennings was tearing it up, but he's dealing with an injury. Jacob Cowing, I hear, is rising. Trent Taylor is on the IR, so that's why you see his name in red. Junior Bergen, can't wait to see what he's able to do. And then they signed new wide receiver Malik Knowles. I'm waiting on his number. All right, and so yeah, like tight ends: George Kittle, Luke Farrell, Ross Dwelly, Braden Willis, Jake Tonjes. And I feel like there's another one that I don't have on this list. Mason Pline, I feel like belongs on here. So we'll talk about him. Or maybe he got released. Not sure. But yes, so there you go. And I didn't put quarterbacks up here because I mean it's Brock Purdy. The room is great, but it's Brock Purdy. It's Mac Jones, Tanner Mordecai, Curtis Rourke's recovering from the ACL injury. So there you go, right? So those are the position groups right now. If you feel like the running back position group is the strongest, betcha by golly freaking wow. Since we're talking about position groups, let's just flip mode real quick to the defense and the poll. Which defensive group is the best? And right now, defensive line is winning with all the votes going toward the defensive line. And when you look at the defensive line, you got to include your edge, your ends, and your freaking defensive tackles. Now, we're not necessarily, it's starting to switch up. We're not necessarily, we got safeties as the strongest group. I like this. I love the live interaction. Let's freaking go. You know what I mean? I love it. I love it. I love it. Now you got defensive line, just a quick recap. Nick Bosa, Yatura Gross-Matos, congratulations on your new baby. Jonathan Garvin, Bryce Huff, the new addition. We'll talk about what Kyle Shanahan said about him. Jordan Elliott, CJ West, Kalia Davis, Kevin Givens, Alfred Collins, Evan Anderson, are your interior guys. Michael Williams, Sam Okawanu, Robert Bill Jr., and Terran Jackson are your edge rushing guys. So there's definitely a lot of depth there. I don't know if it's the strongest, but it's definitely the depth. I think the addition of Bryce Huff makes that defensive line super freaking solid. Linebackers, I get it. No only linebacker that's proven, I get it. Fred freaking Warner. But I'm hearing great things from D. Winters. I'm hearing great things about the rookie Nick Martin, third round pick for the Niners. Safeties is interesting because Malik Mustafa, I believe, is on the IR right now. You got Jason Pinnock, Marquis Siegel. He's not able to perform right now. Jair Brown, Richie Grant, George Odom. Jair Brown's dealing with an injury. Derek Canteen, Jalen Mahoney. These are some of the guys that they brought in because of the injuries. And I don't know how many of them guys are going to remain on this roster, but I believe Jair Brown, Malik Mustafa would be the starters if health. So it's going to be interesting to see how that room kind of shapes up. And no one has voted for corners. Renardo Green, Darrell Luter Jr., Diamador Lenore, Trey Avery, Chase Lucas, Upton Stout, Dallas Flowers, Jacob Robinson, and Saran Neal. So interesting because we're going to talk about that in a second. So I appreciate those participating in the polls. I see a question out here from Jax. Jax says, Wayne, how many rookies will ball out this year? How many rookies will ball out this year? My man Javon says, let's 49ers, let's go. Welcome back. He says they're going to the bowl this year. I like that. How many rookies? That's interesting, Jax, because it all comes down to, who gets time. I think the way that this team is built is going to be on a rotation base, especially for the defensive line. I like my interior guys, Alfred Collins, who has not signed his contract yet. He's one of those second round players that have not signed the contract. He is dealing with the calf strain. Hopefully he'll be ready to go by camp. I believe that's what the reports talked about today. But if I had to coin two players from that, or three players, I feel like Michael Williams, remember his name, CJ West, limited. He'll get rotative snaps. Nick Martin and Upton Stout. I like Upton Stout had a coverage today on Christian McCaffrey and shut it down. McCaffrey tried to fake him, but he shut it down. I've been saying Upton Stout was my favorite draft player, and I'm gonna stick by it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he starts at the nickel spot. But I still think because they're unproven and because they haven't had, we'll see how they play in the preseason game. We'll see how they practice during training camp. Like, it makes it tough to really say if they're gonna ball out. Does Robert Saleh, is he gonna trust Upton Stout this early? We'll see. I mean, it's early, so it's gonna be interesting. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be very interesting. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes of today's show. I have a little time left, and I want to focus on the practice report per Nick Wagner, one of the 49er beat writers, and we'll just read through his report. He posted this on Twitter X. All right, and some notes and observations from 49ers first mandatory mini camp. All right. Friendly reminder, part 3, they still aren't in full pads, and it's still not real football. So remember I said that it's just drills. It's nothing more. It's drills, nothing more, no full contact. So take everything with a grain of salt. Okay, that's super important. Take everything with a grain of salt. Earlier, you could see earlier tweets for some injury updates who didn't see participating today. Ricky Pearsall hamstring, Michael Williams hamstring, Brandon Ayuk the knee. Brandon Ayuk was at practice, you know what I'm saying, but he was more helping out as a coach opposed to a player because of he's recovering. Jawan Jennings calf, Malik Mustafa knee, Alfred Collins calf, Itur Gross-Matos knee, Fred Warner rest, Curtis Robinson. None of the players with the ACL injuries are going to be available, or they should be available by training camp. I think that's what the report said. Curtis Robinson knee, Jair Brown ankle, Curtis Work knee, another ACL guy, George Odom knee, Darrell Luter Jr., Marquis Siegel, the sports hernia, And then offensive lineman Andre Dillard with an ankle injury. All right. Now, according to Kyle Shanahan, almost all of that group will be ready to go for the start of training camp, with the exceptions of Ayuk, Mustafa, Rourke, and Robinson. All right. He said, I've seen Robinson doing some running such on the side. Ayuk was on the field today, just not participating. Have seen Mustafa doing the same in recent weeks. All right. Now, again, they will be ready to go. Most of those players, with the exception. So no Ayuk, no Mustafa, no quarterback Curtis Rourke, and no cornerback Jacob Robinson. All right. So those players right there will probably not be ready to go by training camp unless something miraculously happens. Still little to no team reps. Still little to no reps in team drills for many of the Niners. Their big stars, Trent Williams, George Kittle, they took no team reps, and then limited work for Christian McCaffrey and Nick Bosa. You guys can see the videos out there on social media. He says Shanahan again reiterated today that the goal is to get some of those older vets through this part healthy, which explains the lack of the work in the team drills. Still some benefits to having them out there and around with so many young, impressionable players on the roster. Kyle Shanahan, for many, is using this time to work with the youngings and get his players whipped into shape. And this is the perfect time to do it. I know what my vets can do. If my vets are there, they can aid, they can model, they can do all the things I need my veteran players to do. But let's get these young players up to par. I love it. I love what Kyle Shanahan is doing. Defensive end, Michael Williams is nursing a hamstring issue. Shanahan said he probably could have gone today, but they want to be smart with it, so nobody rushed him. He's expected to be ready to start of camp and did some work on the sideline last week. 49ers started promoting team portion of practice with some red zone work. Quarterback Brock Purdy immediately hit Kyle Juszczyk and rookie Jordan Watkins 4 touchdowns. All right, I got to do my sound. Whenever we hear touchdowns, you guys are going to hear the sound. When we do the overreaction shows when the season starts, it's going to be this. Touchdown! San Fran! And I do the little breezy dance. All right, the little breezy dance. It's different every single time, so make sure you're locked in. He said there were also some hiccups, including a Purdy pass. Purdy pass to defensive tackle Jordan Elliott batted down, and later an interception to D. Winters on a pass that Purdy probably would have checked down during the game. It appeared Purdy even saw the check down option as he briefly looked at it and decided to cut it loose. This is a prime example of what Kyle Shanahan is talking about when he says he wants his quarterbacks to use practice to cut it loose. Purdy clearly wanted to see if he could squeeze a pass into a tight window downfield, and it just didn't work. All right, it just did not work. All right, so Purdy, from the reports I read, he threw 3 interceptions today. All right, are you guys worried? Are you going to rip him a new one? I don't know. It's up to you. It's your prerogative. At the end of the day, it's just practice where you are supposed to make mistakes and learn from your mistakes. Speaking of last week, quarterback Mac Jones talked about how he has to get back to trusting what he sees and cutting it loose. He said that after a rough practice, well, he seemed to take a nice step forward in that area today. He threw a nice ball to DeMarcus Robinson for a sizable gain, and had another to Watkins over the middle, and a nice bounce back after a practice last week that Jones was not thrilled about. And one of the few team reps, Christian McCaffrey, he ended up matched up with rookie cornerback Upton Stout. McCaffrey did the jab step, the little jab step inside. Well, I went the wrong way, so jab step inside, and Stout didn't take the bait, stayed in lockstep, taking away McCaffrey as an option and forcing Purdy to throw the ball away. The most excited observer, linebacker Fred Warner. Fred Warner, here's what he said about Fred Warner. Fred Warner could be heard from across the field yelling, "Good Stout," who was greeted with a bunch of high fives as he returned to the sideline. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty of practice. Okay, now let me make this clear. There was no freaking kicking competition today because Greg Joseph did not kick. Okay, want to put that out there. Javon Bitten, 23. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're leaving, I truly appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, let's get to this. He says Jake Moody showed off his new kicking stance. Now, this is great for Jake Moody. They talked about him having a new kicking stance, shorter, situation with the steps, maybe from 4 steps to 2 steps, and then boom. And so he said new kicking stance and was largely on target. So largely on target. Now, hitting from 33 yards, he hit twice. So 2 from 33, 1 from 40, 1 from 47, 1 from 52, and 1 from 55. He also attempted a 37-yard kick, but it was unclear. I'm gonna put that out there if he made it or not. One official signaled he made it, the other official signaled he did not make it. So it's unclear. It's 50-50. Shanahan's answer about Moody today would align with how I am guessing most of you view it. The field goals been going between the two uprights. Shanahan said, I've liked it so far. Now, I spoke earlier today on a podcast on the Nothing But Niners YouTube channel. You can catch me on there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I said before this came out, before Kyle Shanahan stuff spoke, I said none of it really matters until it counts, right? Like he can kick to these blue in the face and he'll probably make every single field goal attempt in a practice. But ladies and gents, until the clock in the game matters, that's the only time he's really going to be evaluated. I expect him to win in practice. He's that good. It's something about the game time. It's something about when he puts on the game time. Like that's what's crazy. All right. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens, all right, when it comes to that. And the 49ers have one more practice tomorrow before they head off into their pre-training camp break. So that is the deal with the practice. I wanted to make sure you guys got good observation. Shout out to Nick Wagner. Appreciate you. Salute to Nick Wagner, one of the greatest to do it out there as a beat writer for the San Francisco 49ers. And look, guys, if you got any other questions, you guys can follow me here. You can follow me on YouTube at the WayneBreezie. Feel free to shoot me whatever it is you want. All right. And I'll do my best to answer. We can even do a mailbag type of situation. If you guys have any questions you want me to answer, you can hit me up here on the Bleacher Report app if you're following me, or you can hit me up on YouTube. Just send me a message. It's at the WayneBreezie just about everywhere on social media. And I'll try to answer some of your questions live on air next Tuesday. Now, next Tuesday is my grandmother's funeral. I do plan to be here at 9 p.m. I will definitely, if I'm not able to be here at 9 p.m., I definitely will let you guys know. And hopefully I could be switched to a different day. But stay tuned for that. It's more 49ers football coming to you all off season. I'll be here every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Stay locked in. It's your boy, the WayneBreezie. Keep it faithful to the Bay. And until the next time, peace out, faithful. What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.